Hi everybody, Steve Goretta here from Rigado, and I'm going to do a quick demonstration of how you can set up a Rigado, Presto, or Swift Kit using our simple setup wizard and IoT Central. So to begin, we assume that you've already received your gateway and your sensors, and you've powered on the gateway using power over Ethernet or the included power cable with LTE. Either way, you should see the light on the top of the Cascade Gateway go solid green, and then you'll know that you're ready to start the process. And you should also have received an email looking something like this. It says, welcome to Rigado Presto or welcome to Rigado Swift. And they'll have a link in it that says, click here to begin setup. And that's how you start. So when you click here, you're going to be directed to the browser with a customized link in it for your gateway and your account. So make sure that you use the link that we sent you with the gateway that we sent you. And if you have any questions about that, you're always welcome to reach out to support@rigado.com. We can help you out. But hopefully it should be a pretty smooth process. So let's get started. I've opened up my email link, and you can see that we do a little status check. If it says offline and you plug it in and it comes online, you can refresh and it'll let you know if it's online. And we're going to walk through a couple quick steps here. And really the first thing that we do is prompt you to install an application in IoT Central. The Presto and Swift kits are all about using predefined device templates to make it all plug and play. And we've done that with IoT Central. And we've created now a couple of different application templates. One we call Rigado Swift, one we call Presto. Really, either of them will work for the Presto kit. The Swift kit has more sensor options, more device templates, so that's kind of the superset. And we're going to go ahead and use that one here to go ahead and start building our kit. So I've got the Swift kit here. I ordered a gateway. I've got a few sensors. I'm going to click Next. And it's going to send me over to IoT Central to set up an application. This just takes a few seconds. So the whole process here is going to take just a couple of minutes. When I go over to IoT Central, you can create an application here using their standard pricing. I'm just going to do a free one just because we can do that really quickly. You can customize the application name and URL. Because I'm not going to be using this one very long, I'm just going to use the default. And by the way, if you get here and you haven't logged into Azure yet or created an Azure account, it walks you through that pretty quickly. So that may be an extra step you have to take, but eventually you'll be able to get back to this screen and get going creating an application. So we're going to go ahead and create an Azure IoT Central application. It provisions it really quickly. It's using the device templates that Rigado has created. And you'll see that we've even built out this little dashboard that kind of walks you through the next couple of steps. But that was very fast, obviously. You know, you really quickly have an application running and you can start customizing it in all sorts of interesting ways. So there's some things we need to do to finish setup though. And you can either go back to the tab you had open, or if you click on this thing, it'll open a tab to the step where it left off. And we need to fill in some information here. And you're going to find that information under the administration device connection tabs here. And what we really need is the ID scope. That's the unique identifier of this application, and we're going to program that into your gateway for you. And then we need the security keys for the devices themselves. So it's really easy. All you got to do is copy, go back over to our wizard, and paste it in here. Now you'll notice that I have some that are already in there. That's because I've run through this a bunch of times and my browser caches it. In your case, they're probably going to be blank. But just go in, and then for the keys, the next two fields in here, the primary key and secondary key, we go into SaaS IoT devices, make sure it's devices, and you'll see them right here. Copy, and I'm going to go in here, delete the old one and paste in this new one. Same thing with the secondary key. And you'll notice that we already know the gateway serial. So that's already there. You don't need to touch that. It should match the one that you have in your gateway. You can always double check it by looking at the bottom label of your gateway and see the gateway serial there. And also there's screenshots referring to the pages that I just went in and checked. So really this is the most important part of the process, is getting this scope and these keys right, because what the next step is going to do when I click next here, what we're actually doing right now is taking this information, programming it through our management system, what we call Edge Direct, sending that down to the gateway and telling that gateway, okay, here is the application in IoT Central and the security keys to use to send the sensor data between this user's network and their IoT Central application. So this activation just takes a few seconds, but it really is what makes the whole plug and play thing go, and is going to enable sensors to come online and start passing data to IoT Central. Now this usually happens pretty fast, and typically within about 30 seconds. So we'll just be patient here and let it work itself out, and then we'll be able to go back to our application and hopefully see some sensor data coming in. And there you go. You can see that it says success. Sometimes it'll flash like it wasn't successful, like it briefly did, but that's usually just kind of a timing thing, and it's going to recheck and see that it worked. So it looks happy. Let's go back to our application now. And the first thing we want to do is look in devices and see if any devices have shown up. And in fact, you can see that those devices are starting to appear, and it's even refreshing in the background. It says updates available. You can hit refresh. Now, you'll see a lot of devices coming into my network here, and that's because I've already pulled the tabs on these sensors. I've already installed some different temperature sensors, and I have some of the e-paper displays. So don't worry if you don't see this list populating right away. Probably what it means is that you need to go and take out the battery tabs on the different sensors, and we have instructions in all the knowledge base about how to do that. But you'll start to see these updates coming in, and it'll also take a few minutes for the sensor data to start populating. So just because the sensor appears here doesn't mean that it's actually reporting yet. If I click, for instance, on this sensor, this is the Menu S1 temperature humidity sensor, it's going to say waiting for data for a little bit. Don't get too concerned. It usually takes a couple of minutes for the sensor data to come in and start appearing in IoT Central. And you can check. You'll see that there's some raw data already appearing here. You'll be able to start to see messages coming in. There we go. So now it'll continuously update depending on which type of sensor it is over time. We can check another one here. Maybe the RS40 sensor. You can see this one, it just started to appear. Occupancy state, motion counts. So we're pretty much good to go there. You'll also notice the Cascade Gateway appears here. It will show up on the list. Usually this one takes a bit longer, maybe like 5 minutes, but you'll see it in there as well. So the neat thing here is that we've built out the application in just a few minutes. You can close the wizard, but I'll come back to that in a minute to show how we can add devices to it later. And now you can start to go in and customize your dashboard. You can go in here. We can probably delete these things because we've already got devices going. And just to show a really quick example, we could take the Menu S1. We can take the device that we have. I happen to have one in here. Add some telemetry. Why don't we show temperature and add tile? And you can see that this is in Celsius. If we can switch it to Fahrenheit for you if you want, just let us know. A lot of people want to have it in Celsius, but it can flip back and forth. And you'll be able to actually chart that out a number of different ways. Last known value. You can do historical. So there's all sorts of different ways to customize these. And then when you're, whatever you want to name that, like current temp, update, hit save. And there you go. So you can build out all sorts of dashboards with this using the different devices that you have in your kit. And really, that's all there is to setting up the application. Whether it's a Presto kit or a Swift kit, it's going to be the same process. Now, one thing I wanted to show is going back to this, you can actually run through this wizard again if you have another device you want to add. And you can do that through either reactivate device, which will reactivate this existing device if you want to start over and build the application over again, or if you want to add a gateway to an existing application. So let's say you wanted to have two different gateways because you have two sites running in that IoT Central application. You can simply go in here and modify the serial number to add a new serial number of another gateway. So it's a little bit more advanced. This is if you have multiple locations and you wanted to have sensors that are going between the two locations. But you can do that as well using this wizard. Really easy to do. And again, if you have any questions about how this all works, or if you want some customization of the sensor frequency or data types, just give us a shout, and usually we can help make that happen. And on top of that, there's a knowledge base we have that you can see all sorts of articles about how to set these different sensors up, how to build custom dashboards, how to set up rules and analytics, how to export data to other sources, and different recipes of combining the sensors together. So hopefully this has been a good way for you to see the wizard and how it works, and hopefully when you go to set yours up, it's just as easy. If not, again, reach out to us at Rigado. And best of luck using your Rigado Presto and your Rigado Swift Kit. Thank you.